You're still doing that crafting thing? My cousin Derrick laughed, his voice carrying across the entire backyard at our annual family reunion. I set down my cocktail and braced myself for the same conversation I'd been having for 7 years. When are you getting a real job? He pressed. Marcus, Jennifer, and Tyler all nodded along like I was someone to be pitied. I smiled politely, the kind of smile you wear when you've finally decided your family's opinions matter less than your own vision. 23 hours later, their group chat exploded with a headline from Forbes. Artisan Commerce founder Grace Whitmore's e-commerce empire reaches $500 million valuation, and she built it on her own terms. The crafting thing had started as an accident. I'd been laid off from my marketing job in 2018. No drama, just a restructuring, position eliminated, severance package offered. 32 years old, solid career, suddenly very available. My mother suggested finding another marketing job. My father suggested taking some time to think. My siblings offered supportive advice that sounded suspiciously like panic. What none of them knew was that I had been making something for years in my garage purely out of love and boredom. Hand-poured soy candles infused with botanicals. Not revolutionary, just beautiful, expensive candles I made for myself and occasionally as gifts. I'd started in 2014. Invested maybe $5,000 over 4 years. Experimented with wax blends, fragrances, containers. Developed a process that was entirely my own. Sustainable, ethical, no synthetic additives, just pure craft. My best friend always said, "You should sell these. People would pay real money." I'd laughed. "It's just a hobby. I'm not a business person. I work for companies. I don't run them." But suddenly I was laid off, with severance, and a garage full of perfected candles. So I tried. I launched Artisan Commerce on Instagram in October 2018. I expected a few pity purchases. Maybe enough to justify the equipment. Maybe enough to feel productive. What actually happened was this. A creator with 300,000 followers reposted my photo. Then another with 500,000 did the same. By month 2 I was making $5,000 a month. By month 4 $50,000. By month 6 I'd hired my first employee, rented a workspace and still hadn't touched my severance. Then came 2020. Quarantine. Isolation. Everyone wanted comfort items. Artisan Commerce hit $2 million in annual revenue. I posted a photo in my studio with a proud caption about small business growth. Derrick commented, "So cool you're doing this on the side. Hopefully you'll get a real job soon and keep this as a hobby." I deleted the comment and blocked him. By 2021, $10 million in revenue. By 2022, $40 million. We expanded into soaps, room sprays, bath products, all following the same sustainable philosophy. And yet at every family gathering, someone would still ask about my cute little business, or suggest I go back to the corporate world, where the real opportunities are. My uncle was always the worst. He'd spent 40 years in finance and had very strong. Story ends here in your input. Send the rest if you want me to continue. My uncle had strong opinions about what constituted a real career. To him, anything that didn't involve an office, a title, and a 401k was fundamentally less serious. "Grace, you're smart," he'd said at one gathering. "You went to college. You had a real career. This is wonderful as a side project, but have you thought about getting back into marketing? That's where you belong." "I'm generating $10 million a year," I replied calmly. "I have 50 employees. I'm building something that's entirely mine. I'm exactly where I belong." "Yes, but your resume must be getting stale," he persisted. "If you wanted to go back to corporate work someday, you'd need to address that gap." Eventually I stopped arguing. I realized no amount of success would convince them that what I was doing mattered. To them, success was a corporate title, a 401k match, an office with a door. Everything else was a hobby until proven otherwise. So I stopped trying to prove anything. I just kept building. By 2023, Artisan Commerce was valued at $250 million. Venture capitalists were reaching out. Major retail corporations sent acquisition offers. I was featured in Business Insider and the Wall Street Journal as part of the new wave of female founders in the direct-to-consumer space. And my family still treated it like a cute little project. My cousin Jennifer actually said, "That's so inspiring. You should write a book, like a how-to guide for people starting side hustles." A side hustle. $250 million in revenue. And she called it a side hustle. But I let it roll off. I was too busy building. The real vindication came during a CNBC interview about female founders in e-commerce. You founded Artisan Commerce while collecting unemployment, the interviewer said. Most people in that situation look for traditional employment. What made you different? I stopped waiting for permission, I answered. I stopped caring if other people thought what I was doing was legitimate. I focused on building something I believed in. And how do you feel about the people who didn't believe in you early on? I smiled. Grateful, honestly. Their doubt fueled me, not because I needed their validation but because it gave me something to prove to myself. Then the Forbes article dropped on a Tuesday morning. Grace Whitmore's Artisan Commerce reaches $500 million valuation. How a laid-off marketer built an e-commerce empire. It detailed everything. My candle-making beginnings, my bootstrapped approach, my sustainability model, and highlighted that I'd done it while my family dismissed it as a hobby. The article even quoted me. My family called it a hobby for 7 years. They suggested I get a real job. They encouraged me to go back to corporate work. And I let that doubt motivate me, not demoralize me, because I knew what I was building. I was just waiting for the world to catch up. 24 hours later, the family group chat exploded. My uncle sent the Forbes link. Grace, we always knew you had it in you. So proud. Derrick wrote. Always said you were talented, Grace. Can't wait to see where this goes. Jennifer chimed in. You're literally inspiring all of us. We knew it wasn't just a hobby. I read every message without responding. I stared at my phone for a long time, then called my best friend. They're all saying they always believed in me, I said. Did you see the group chat? I did, she replied. What are you going to do? Nothing, I said. I'm going to keep building. Their validation doesn't matter to me anymore. I built this without needing them, and I don't need their belief now. 2 months later, the acquisition offer came. A major retail corporation, one with stores in every mall in America, offered $1.2 billion to buy Artisan Commerce. Generational wealth. A life-changing number. I turned it down. My family was bewildered. My uncle said, Grace, that's an enormous amount of money. You should seriously consider it. I'm not building this to sell it, I explained. I'm building it because I love it. Money is the byproduct. Purpose is the goal. Derrick asked, but what would you even do with $1 billion? The same thing I'm doing now, I said. Keep building Artisan Commerce. Expand into new markets. Fund other female founders whose families insist their work is just a hobby. By 2024, Artisan Commerce was valued at $750 million and still privately held. We had expanded into 30 countries. I had 350 employees. We launched a sustainability consulting division. I became known not just as a successful founder, but as someone investing in the next generation of female entrepreneurs. My family finally stopped calling it a hobby. They started calling it an empire. At the most recent reunion, my uncle approached me with a business proposal. He wanted to invest in Artisan Commerce. He wanted a seat on my board. He wanted to leverage his financial expertise to help. I smiled and thanked him. Then gently I told him the truth. I built this business without your help, for 7 years. I built it while you told me it was a hobby, while you suggested I get a real job. And I built it into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise on my own terms. I don't need your investment. I don't need your board seat. I don't need your validation. I got everything I needed from the market, from my customers, and from myself. That's enough. He looked hurt, but he also looked like he finally understood. Because here's what my family never grasped. Success isn't about proving anything to the people who doubted you. Success is building something so undeniable that their doubt becomes irrelevant. It's reaching a place where someone's disbelief can't touch your trajectory at all. I had reached that place, and it felt like freedom.